It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
A little while ago, Mojo was tweaked a little bit, and he became a pretty amazing hero. He's, I wouldn't say essential anymore in boss fights, because they fixed his hex. They modified the algorithm that determines how much damage he does while he's dead or alive or whatever. So made him less effective, but he's still a pretty killer boss killing hero. Yeah, you can only get him from the campaign, and he's expensive, right? He's like the most expensive hero Soulstone event. Am I wrong? I think he's got the most expensive missions out of all of them. He's a good hero to have. He shows up in a lot of the Hydra teams. And I think that a lot of people were very surprised during the Legends draft. I think people selected him here and there. And I think a lot of people that didn't give Mojo enough credit were surprised with how much damage that Mojo does. Now, he's not like on par of like Satori or Zisha, Lilith, or, Lars, Jorgen, Kai. But he's pretty close, if not better. The problem with Mojo is that his ultimate hits random enemies. And for 6 seconds, he effectively isn't attacking anymore, right? The downside of his Hex ability, this Hex ability will do damage passively for the entire fight, even after Mojo dies. But the downside to that is for 6 seconds every time he uses his ultimate, he doesn't do any auto attacks, he doesn't do any of his other attacks at all. It's just the ultimate, which is a strong attack, yeah? He's the second most expensive after Helios. Excuse me. Okay, so Helios missions are more expensive. Bring back Mojo to normal. I wish. He did a lot of damage. He was kind of overpowered. The way that Mojo and Qingmao were coded, limited design space. So while it sucks that they do less damage now, or that their damage is capped, I should say, it was necessary. Okay, let's explain this a little bit. So whenever they added the Hydras in, so let's take a look at the Hydras real quick. The Hydras have a lot of health. For example, the Eldra Hydra has 106 million health. 106 million health. There are 3 heroes. There might be more now. Is there more? There's only 3, I think. There are 3 heroes that do damage based on health. Qingmao's blue ability deals damage to the enemy based on their current health. So imagine if she used this ability and dealt 10% of the enemy Hydra's health. That'd be like 10 million damage, right? It'd be like 10, 12 million damage in each hit. Obviously, that wouldn't work. Obviously, that would be a little unfair against those Hydras, okay? So what they did is they capped the modifier that determines how much damage Qingmao can do to the Hydra heads and other bosses, okay? So bosses, Qingmao, and others, there's a cap to the amount of damage that they can deal. So it's not like she's still good in PvP. So Qingmao is one. Mojo is another one. Mojo is another one that was adjusted because this ability could ramp up increasingly fast. Marks a random target at the start of combat. There's only one target, the Hydra, or the boss, right? Every 2 seconds, the mark deals magic damage depending on how much damage the target received in their recent 2 seconds. So this is completely independent of Mojo's damage. They had to kind of cap this as well. And then the last one I think is Zhu, right? Zhu was adjusted, or was he? It seems like maybe there was another hero that was adjusted, but I can't remember who. So it was Zhu. So Zhu's green ability does, and this is a low example here. You can see at my 3,000 power level Zhu, my 2,500 power level Zhu, he would be doing 2% of the enemy's health for each attack. Each attack would be doing 2% damage in this specific example. So again, on that Hydra head that had 100 million health, he would be doing 2 million damage every time he attacked. So they had to cap that damage. But again, tedious. It's only against bosses. As far as I know, it's impossible to reach those caps on hero fights, like just random arena, grand arena, guild war, or a global championship fights. I don't know what the cap is. I think the cap was published somewhere, but I don't know what it is. Cornelius. I don't think Cornelius was capped. Was he capped? You mean they got lazy on programming? Yes. Well, Carl, whenever they created Mojo and Qingmao and Zhu, 4 years ago, they didn't foresee problems. Although there are bosses in the campaign already, right? There are several bosses with high health in the campaign already. I don't know. Maybe just the health was never high enough for it to matter. I guess.